Welcome everyone. It's Enrico Janko. It's from the Team Alliance. So glad you're here today because you could be anywhere else and you decide to spend some time with me. And since you decided to spend some time with me at Team Alliance Live Trade Room, I want to give you some information. Hopefully, can make you more profitable. All right. We serve out over here. Over here, we serving out binary options, and we're doing 5-minute binary options, which means that we're in and out of a trade 5-minute period. So we might sit around for a little bit, 10, 15, a half an hour, just waiting for particular setups to come our way. And then we're taking those setups and boom, ka-ching, coming out with wins. All right. What I'm trying to go over with you real quick, I just wanted to show you, maybe not even show you, I just want to give you some background in the methodology, the methodology, right? The method, how we actually looking at the market, or how I'm looking at the market. Of course, Mark and I both, go in and look at the market, and we look at it differently at times. Not all the time we're going to look at it the same way, right? And we're not always coming up with the exact same conclusion of the market, but either way, we're going to take trades, and we take it under a certain methodology, like that, right? We take them under a certain methodology. So I'm just go through a little bit of, or give you what's the what they call it, the bird's eye view of what's going on. Yeah, like plane going ahead, right? I'm gonna give you like the bird's eye view. So let's get off this page right here real quick, and let me get you over to what I'm looking at. All right. Here's a simple chart. This is the 1-minute chart right here I'm looking at right now, and what I want to show you on this 1-minute chart is important, I believe. In the market, period, any market that you're in, all right, you're going to have people in the know, people that think they in the know, and people that don't know, period. People that don't know, period, you don't want to be on that side, because that would be the side of the lames. And the lames are the ones that are consistently giving me money and making Team Alliance more profitable. Because you caught on the wrong side. Usually, if you're on the other side of the trade I'm on, you lose it. All right, because that's how we move. We with 98% on point, and we only need to be about 65% on point to actually become profitable. But anyway, that's all for another day. Let's go into looking at a little bit about this market, because I want to show you this market real quick. I took a trade. My trade today was in this market, and it was, I believe I did a sell and got a good price. I think over here somewhere. I don't even remember where it's at. I have the ticket somewhere. But what I wanted to really show, this right here. You see what's going on? Let's look real quick. I want to show you levels. Look right here. All right. Does this even, will this allow me to write on my page? All right. It's lagging a little bit, but it does. You see this? This is a level, right? And you see this? These are, it's another level. And what I find important about these two particular levels, right? Yes, you might call them support and resistance or whatever, but that's not what I'm going into about them. What I find of interest in these two levels is that there's an imbalance, and that imbalance I'm talking about occurs right here, right there. That's where it first occurs, and then it occurs right over here, right? Show you. And that's an imbalance. Now, what do I mean by, now for prices to move, for me to get a move from here to here, right? For me to get that move from price to go from where it's at there to there, right? The only way we can get that move is to get an imbalance in price, all right? Same thing with this move right here, from up here down here, right? Only way that can happen is if there's an imbalance in price, all right? So that means, what does that mean? An imbalance in price. That means supply and demand cannot be equal, right? Because if supply and demand are equal, this is what we get. We get prices standing still. You get no movement, all right? So you always want to look at that. This is what I'm looking at, supply and demand. And the reason why I'm giving you this background is so that when you see the chart and you see what I'm looking at, now when it's time for you to copy the trades that I'm doing, that Mark is doing, you already know what to be looking at. You're kind of already in place, all right? So, all right, now let's look at this. You see, I'm saying here, because we always talking about supply and demand. It's always supply and demand. That's what moves prices. When there's an imbalance between the two, you get a movement of price. I don't care what it is. If you got 2 buyers, 1 seller, what's going to happen to the price? Price is going to go up. More demand. And the opposite. If you got 3 sellers, 1 buyer, what's going to go down? You know, price is going to go down because you got more supply. All right. So I always look at the market and I start from that. All right. So I always know that my demand is going to be down here because that's how it works. Demand is lower than supply, right? So this is going to be my demand and supply is going to be up here. All right. So I know up here, this is where the supply is, and down here, this is where the demand is. And so when those two are equal, price does not move. When they become imbalanced, prices move. So I'm always looking for that. So that makes me look all the time for where there are going to be orders on a desk. Because this, we got to remember that. It's not all about these indicators and all this stuff. It's about what price is doing, all right? Let me go to another, keep it moving a little bit for you so I can show you another chart real quick. This is the same chart, same action, but I'm just on a 5-minute chart because this is what we trade. We trade the 5-minute, right? So I just want to show you what things we're looking at when I ran up on them, all right, and show you where I'm looking to see where the lames are at, all right. Now, when I say lame, I mean, you know, you might not be lame in the rest of your life. You might be fantastic, but when it comes to this right here, and you get on here and you start losing money on a consistent basis, like a lot of people do, like a lot of cryptocurrency guys, they losing money on a regular. Let me show you what's going on, how you not to be a lame, all right? Now, you just look at this market right here. Everything, you see this, it's been going down, right? We got it pretty much down. We was going up here, then we was going down here. What do we know while we're going down? We know there's a lot of supply. There's more supply than it is demand. That's why the prices are going lower. Can't go lower unless that happens, right? So that's what we're looking at. So all right here, I'm looking at down here. I'm looking, look, this is where a bunch of demand is. So I'm looking at for when prices reach down here, I'm looking for them to react and go the other direction, just as it did there, right there at that point, right? React and go the other direction, like it did there. React, go the other direction. React, go the other direction. Why is it doing that? Imbalance in supply and demand, all right? Imbalance. And I'm going through, these are all the same chart I'm looking at, all the same chart. These red and white ones are usually my minute chart, all right? So don't let that confuse you. It's all the same chart. I'm just watching price move, right? Down here, Like I said before, this is all the supply. This is all, I mean, this is all demand down here. This is demand. All down here, demand, where people are willing to start buying. All up here, this is my supply up here. This is supply. This is where people are buying from. All right? So I'm playing right between these two. Supply, demand. Supply, demand. Real simple. When I look at it, look at this. You see it, the price actually moving. And it's going to keep on moving. I would expect it to keep on moving to somewhere up here. Why? Why? Because look, your demand is high. Your demand is moving the price. Demand is moving to move the price too. It's going to move the price until we get to supply. All right? Till we get a bunch going up. Right? So we go up. And when we reach up, we're going to reach all the more supply, and then price will stop going up. You see what I'm saying? Just as it did right here. Once it reaches that mark where the supply and demand are equal, price must stop going up. And then if there's more supply than demand, price must go down. That's simply what we're looking at. And these orders that are just resting there are magnetizing price. All right? Now, the only thing that can move these indicators, these price levels, the only thing that moves these prices are not you. Me and you can't move them. We don't have enough money. So remember, we're on a 5-minute. We're on a 5-minute level right here. 5-minute time frame, right? Lot of hedge funds and institutions on this 5-minute trade. And what happens is that they don't look at all this garbage that we look at with indicators and moving averages, forth and so on. All they're looking at is price levels. They're looking at price levels where they want to buy and price levels where they want to sell. Supply and demand. So we want to look at the same thing, right? So right here, we show we got a bunch of demand, excuse me. We got to wait for it to hit supply. And when that supply overcomes the demand, price will go down. Now these are simple everyday, what do you want to call it, definitions maybe, basic foundations of supply and demand that we forget, that we will forget while we're doing our in the market, right? People forget about supply and demand and get to looking at everything else. And I go through this chart, you see how prices magnetize up to this level. Why you think prices magnetize up to that level? Because at all these levels, you know what's there? It's a bunch of orders just waiting, right? A bunch of orders just sitting there. So I buy orders and sell orders up here, all right? These orders just start, collecting as we go up. People starting to see price go up. They start putting orders in at different levels, all right? So they might put buy orders, sell orders. You don't know. They're just different orders at different levels. And I watch each level to see how the orders get filled. All right. I know I'm just watching this, knowing that there's a bunch of unfilled orders at all these levels, and price is just going what I'm looking at all the time. It's reaction to those levels. All right. We're running out of time. I just want to go a little further so you can see where price actually moved to. As you see, it's closing up this big hole right here. And this big hole right here, I probably can't even, my daggone thing is going to make a mess of this. But this is a big hole right here, I like to call it. And in that hole, I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to even get it. But this hole, this entire big hole right here, if you just imagine. And that great big hole right there is a bunch of orders just sitting there. All right? And price has to go here, and because I'm expecting when price gets there, that there's going to be orders up there that's not going to keep going. It's going to have to slow down. All right. So that's what we're looking at, and this is what we're usually looking at. And I'm running out of time. I'm going to see you in a minute. All right. And check the next video. have